In this video, I am going to take you step by step by step in my attempt to successfully get ungated in Starbucks. Welcome, I'm Jonathan. This is Duke Does Amazon, who you may have just heard barking. My Amazon selling channel, almost 2 years in now. It's changed my life. I'm sharing everything I've learned, continue to learn, a little documenting, etc. So anyway, today we are going through the process with me of getting ungated in Starbucks, okay? And I want to mention, at the time of filming this, I haven't got approved or denied yet. I haven't even sent my stuff in. I am going to do that today because the product has arrived. But I've gotten ungated in a lot of other things before, and it's basically a rinse and repeat type of method. So what I'm showing you today for Starbucks could very easily be applied to any brand or item that you want to become ungated in. Okay, so the process is very similar as far as getting an invoice and ordering from an authorized distributor, but the brands and wholesalers or distributors are going to vary naturally because everyone carries different things. All right, so the first things first, I want to go over just a quick snapshot of ungating as a whole. So for anybody not familiar, when you become an Amazon seller, you're not just automatically allowed to sell anything under the sun. There's a lot of things you are allowed to sell, but there's other things that you're restricted in, or what we refer to as gated in, okay? And in order to get ungated, there's a variety of ways this can happen. One, when you scan something in the Amazon seller app and it says request or approval needed, something along those lines, you can tap it and get what is called auto ungated, so right on the spot. So if that ever appears, there's nothing to lose by tapping it and requesting for approval. For two, the longer you do this and have a proven track record, more and more brands and categories become ungated naturally, organically, all right? So just with time. And the third way is kind of a forced way of doing it, which is what I'm showing you today. And that is going through an authorized wholesaler or distributor, ordering a certain amount and presenting that product and invoice to Amazon and then getting approval. So that's what we're focusing on here today, especially a brand like Starbucks. At this stage, if I haven't got it auto ungated, I don't think it's happening, all right? So now that we have that out of the way, let's get to it. Alrighty, so there are 4 steps that must take place before the product arrives, which is what we're gonna go over now. And then there's further steps that we'll go over once we open up the product, like taking pictures, how to submit that to Amazon. But for now, it's everything leading up to the product arriving. So the very first thing you're gonna do, it's really simple. You are gonna go to Google and type in Starbucks Wholesale Distributor, okay? And now you're going to get a long list of websites that appear. There's really no shortcut to how to figure this out. You kind of get a feel for it over time. Just click on them, feel it out, see how legitimate they are, and go from there. So when you're looking in one of the websites that you land on, you're gonna be looking for, in this case, Starbucks product. This is really, really critical, okay? Step number 2, after your search and you find product that they're selling, this product has to be sold on Amazon. It has to, it's non-negotiable. So what does that mean? Using Starbucks like we are for this, if we come across on a website Starbucks vanilla coffee, but nowhere on Amazon do they sell Starbucks vanilla coffee, it doesn't matter. It will not get you ungated. It has to be a product that you are certain is selling on Amazon. Check the size, check the packaging, whatever you need to do. Make sure it's sold on Amazon. Also, another thing to make sure of, I know this might seem like obvious, make sure you are in fact restricted to sell the product that you are going to use to get ungated in. Sometimes what happens is there's errors on listing, like a grocery item might actually show up as a health and beauty item, and maybe you're already ungated in health and beauty, so that specific product won't help you in the big scheme of things. Long story short, just make sure you are in fact restricted to sell the product that you want to apply to get approval in, okay? Also, don't get caught up in making or losing money for the product you're purchasing just to get ungated, all right? Very often, you might make a buck or two, you might lose a buck or two, you might break even. You're really thinking about this, at least I do. This is a big picture play. I'm trying to get ungated in Starbucks to sell thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth, right? So I don't want to spend an hour or 2 hours going through the entire catalog to maybe make 10 or 20 bucks or lose 10 or 20 bucks. Either way, it's a win situation if I get ungated, all right? So don't get caught up in that. Number 3, this is imperative, okay? You have to make sure that wherever you're buying this product can provide you an invoice and a proper invoice. And what I do is when I've gone through my steps, I go on the site, I find the product that I want to buy, I make sure Amazon is selling it. Before I place my order, I call or I do an email or a messaging chat on the site, and I make sure that they can provide me with an invoice, okay? Receipts don't count and it will not get you ungated. It has to be an invoice, all right? And so once that happens and I get approval or they tell me, yes, we can provide an invoice, I also like to ask, is the company, their company information gonna be on there? Their name and or address, definitely needs an email address or phone number, okay? So Amazon likes to see their contact information. It's just another way that they can get in touch with them if they need to, and also a legitimacy thing. Also, they want to see your name. If you operate as a business, your business name, your address on file with Amazon, your credit card that's used, whatever information you need that stuff to be on there to validate it, and anything above and beyond is only better, okay? The more descriptive, the better, all right? But an invoice is imperative, non-negotiable. And lastly, step 4, if all of this checks out, so you found a distributor, you found a product you want to buy, Amazon's selling it, and you're going to be able to get an invoice for it, now you can order the product. Amazon requires at least 10 products to make sure that you get ungated, all right? To play it safe, I order 10 of the same product, or you're supposed to order 10 of the same product. I've also heard people say you can mix and match. For me, I just play it safe, get all of the same product, and actually, I like to order 12, 14, 15, 16 of the product if it's not too expensive, because if some items are out of stock or if they short you, when you send your pictures to Amazon, you need to show at least 10, so I'd rather err on the side of caution. So those are the 4 things that are required before the product arrives. Going on Google, finding a distributor, finding a product that you're not allowed to sell and that Amazon is selling, making sure you're gonna get a proper invoice, and then ordering at least 10 of that product. So now the product has arrived today. That's why I'm making this video. I am going to show you what to do once the product is here and how we submit the application, the picture, the invoices to Amazon. So let's hop into that. Alrighty, so now that we are opening the box of the product, this is what I like to do. We're gonna knock out the pictures, we're gonna talk about the invoice, and how to submit everything. As far as pictures go, I err on the side of caution and provide probably way more than is necessary, just to really over-exaggerate that everything is authentic, I have the right quantity, etc. So whatever packaging they come in, I like to take a lot of images, okay? I like to take the product in the box they came in. I like to take pictures of the box, like the outside of my box had the Starbucks logo and where it was manufactured. I get all of those bits of information. I also take pictures of all sides of the product. So on a box, now we're talking 6 sides. Then I take close-ups of the UPC or the barcode, and also scan out to show all 12 of my products in several of the same photos, overemphasizing that it's not just one of the product with an invoice of 12, showing they're all here right in front of me, okay? So again, I overkill with it, but you do wanna have all sides, and I'd rather err on the side of caution. The biggest thing is make sure that they're very crisp and clean images. Sure, use your iPhone, that's totally cool, but make sure that you're not sending like small images, nothing blurred or foggy. Make this as foolproof as possible and err on the side of caution. Take more than necessary in my opinion. As far as the invoice goes, you're going to first, and this is important, print or make copies of the original invoice, because you're going to be doctoring it with your hand and marker, etc. Okay, so if you don't do that, especially if it's a hard copy that you haven't yet scanned, well, you might be out of luck if you make a mistake. So first things first, make some copies or print some extras if you have it digitally. Then what we're going to do is make this again foolproof, and we are going to point out every bit of information that Amazon needs to see. You're going to circle the supplier, and literally right next to it with a big Sharpie, supplier info. Then do the same and circle supplier contact info. You're going to circle the item and write the ASIN so that they can just go to that ASIN on their end and look up, oh yeah, this product is the exact match of what we're selling. You're gonna circle the quantity that you ordered and received. You're gonna circle your name, your business name, your address, your contact address, and draw lines in writing what that is. My name, my business name, my address, my phone number. You want to make this as foolproof as possible. I know I keep saying it, but trust me, okay? And furthermore, this is really important. Don't use any software where you can type in this stuff. You never want to be mistaken for somebody trying to illegally butcher, let's say, a receipt and make it into an invoice, all right? I use Sharpie, literally Sharpie. I'm using a brown Sharpie to make it so over the top obvious that I'm not trying to deceive anyone. And I strongly encourage you to do the same, okay? If you are accused of falsifying records, you'll get your Amazon account shut down real quick. So obviously never do that, but don't even leave a shadow of a doubt, okay? So you have your images, you have your invoice ready to go. Now scan that invoice or send it to your desktop, or however you're gonna do this, whether it's on your phone or PC, etc. You're gonna go into your Seller Central account. You're gonna click on Add a Product, type in the ASIN, okay? The product will appear. Click that you're gonna sell it in new condition, and then you're not allowed to sell it, so click on Apply to Sell. Now you're gonna click on, there's two options. One, to provide an invoice, which is what we're gonna do. The other one is like a letter directly from Starbucks, definitely not doing that. Then it's gonna give you a checklist of everything you need to make sure that you have. You check all of them. There's a place to add and drag your files, your images, and your invoice, okay? So make sure to do that. And then there's a place for optional comments. What I like to do, short and sweet, I like to say something to the effect of, please find my invoice attached from an authorized retailer. You'll find circled and provided the supplier name, the supplier address, the supplier phone number. You'll see my name, my business name, my address, my phone number, 12 quantity, the item, the ASIN, and all of the information that they're looking for. I literally not only provide it all in the invoice, I tell them what will be on that invoice in those comments, and I conclude it with something to the effects of, this is everything that is needed to be allowed to sell this ASIN. Please let me know if I can be of any help. Thanks for your time. I don't use any words that I don't need to. Short, sweet. Again, I am making this foolproof, okay? And then so all you're gonna do is submit it, which is what we're gonna do here in a minute, and then just wait to get approval. It could take a day, 2 days. They might come back to you and say, basically, this didn't work or this didn't work or whatever the problem is. If you can't figure it out, call them. They might be able to guide you. It could just be picture quality. It could be that something's illegible, too small of a size, etc. All right? But that is really the gist of it. And so, alrighty, so I figured I'd give a real quick update. This morning I woke up to approval to sell Starbucks on Amazon. First try, so that means everything I am sharing is accurate. The biggest thing is you want to lay it out to them on a platter, and again, once you know how to do this once, you can basically rinse and repeat for any brand, category, product for the most part. So hope this helps. I'm Jonathan, Duke does Amazon. If you have any questions, put them below. Also on Instagram. Take care and have a great day, guys. See ya.